Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, let's go outside. We got a glimpse of that beautiful summer-like weather that we have been wanting. We saw a little bit every day this week. Today, though, it was really warm. Jeremy, I got to say, the car thermometer actually registered 81 degrees when I was driving around this afternoon. So I know it actually probably wasn't that warm officially, but it sure felt nice.
Actually.
Oh.
Oh!
Very close.
Last hour it was up to 81. So we have officially hit the 80-degree mark. And man, it felt nice just to be outside, but all that heat precedes a little bit of moisture moving in and some strong thunderstorms. Get this, relative humidity at 24%, but it does feel a bit wetter out there. And look at this, tons of convection. For the west side to get that kind of band of convection is really, really impressive. And that is moving in ahead of that line of storms. Now we're already starting to see a little bit of activity down across the Palouse, but this is really going to just explode in the next few hours. By the 8 o'clock hour, it's pretty widespread, and some of those thunderstorms off to the north are going to be strong enough to dump enough rain that we're talking the potential for a flood threat. Look at this though. By tonight, heavy rain moves in, that hits the central portion of the state. Eventually tomorrow morning that starts working its way out, and then it's scattered and isolated thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. So yes, there are thunderstorms on the way, and yes, for some it's very heavy rain. For us, that rain keeps us near 60 tonight, and then tomorrow temperatures climb up to near 70, and then well, it's much cooler as we head into the weekend.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Some breaking news for you right now. Kootenai County and the Sheriff's Office there is searching for a missing woman. Her name is Tessa Shannon. She was last seen in downtown Coeur d'Alene near the Moose Lodge on Sherman Avenue. She was last seen at about 2:30 in the morning. That was on Wednesday, so a day and a half ago. She used her cell phone most recently, or last, near the east end of Sherman Avenue. She drives a 2019 Hyundai Tucson with Idaho plates, and the number there is K68214. If you have any information about where she might be or you may have seen her, please call the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. That number is 208-446-1338. That number is right there at the bottom of the screen. Also breaking today, a scary situation at Post Falls High School. A student, though, is alive tonight, all thanks to a quick response from the student resource officer and patrol officers. The student was found unconscious in the weight room, barely breathing. Resource officers and patrol officers recognized the signs of an opioid overdose and quickly gave that student Narcan. And according to police, the resource officer was then quickly able to identify a student with information about the overdose who was found with the suspected fentanyl pills. That student was arrested and booked into juvenile detention. Now, the investigation is still ongoing. There may be other suspects who may be identified as well. Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward trying to stop a proposal to limit when and where you can water your lawn and for how long. Today, she vetoed the water conservation ordinance, which was just approved by City Council. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is breaking down what happens now. Amanda.
Well, Whitney, the water conservation ordinance was first introduced to Spokane City Council here on May 16th. It was just a few weeks ago, and everyone agrees we need to conserve water, right? But the sticking point has been how to enforce this. Now, that first version of the ordinance included penalties, such as a $20 surcharge to violators who water if they go outside that water time zone, and that's if they go outside those hours. Now, Councilmember Michael Cathcart later proposed, a few days later, May 20th, later proposed a version of the ordinance to use less water. But at Council's most recent meeting, it approved a version of the ordinance that does not include fines or incentives. It now primarily hinges on voluntary compliance. But the mayor still vetoed that ordinance today, which means City Council now has 30 days to consider overriding that veto. It needs 5 votes to do this, which Council President Brian Beggs is confident will pass. He expects that to happen next Monday. Now, this is only Mayor Woodward's second veto since she's taken office. She told me in this case, her veto is symbolic because Council does have the votes to override it.
It's not something that I do regularly. It's not something that I do lightly, but I don't want to create a culture of neighbors telling on neighbors.
All right, so Whitney, I do want to clarify what she's talking about there with the, neighbors reporting on one another. So as the current ordinance reads, there are no penalties, there are no fines associated with it. She's really just more concerned about, making sure that we have enough resources to respond to those complaints, right?
So what do we know about what happens if, obviously, as they plan to? Do we know, have they said that they plan to override her veto? What happens?
They do, yes. So Brian Biggs is pretty confident that they are going to get the 5 votes they need to override the veto. And again, they're going to do that on Monday. And if it does get overridden, it's just going to go right into effect in June next year.
Okay, so people need to know about this.
Yes.
It's coming right up. All right, Amanda, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we have an update now on that 9-year-old girl who was attacked by a cougar over the weekend in Stevens County. According to the GoFundMe page that has been set up for her, she is now able to walk by herself, and she was even coloring some unicorns. She also sang songs with a nurse and is in good spirits. The GoFundMe page has raised just over $90,000 to support her recovery. And a Spokane student has been arrested for felony harassment as part of an investigation into a threat involving Glover Middle School. The Major Crimes Unit says the FBI conducted the initial investigation, which involved threats to kill. Spokane Public Schools says the threat was not made, though, during school hours. Spokane Regional Health District announced last night the health officer or administrative officer, Amelia Clark, accepted a new position and will not be staying after the end of her contract. She will be leaving after her contract ends, which is September 16th. Her new job is out of state. This is all happening while Washington State is investigating her. The preliminary investigation found evidence that she may have broken state law when she fired former health officer Dr. Bob Lutz. So that was back in the fall of 2020. The Board of Health will now have to put together a transition and recruitment plan to fill her position. Their next scheduled meeting is on June 20th. Well, good news. Gonzaga's Drew Timme has announced that he will be returning to GU for another season. He's not the only one, though. When we come back, Sports Director Brenna Green is breaking down what we can expect from next year's team.